Welcome to Takeover, the best sports debate show on YouTube, and we are hyped for this weekend, and you should be hyped for this episode because I don't be out of my mind. They're going to say some crazy things. It's going to be a great episode of Takeover. My name is Cam.
My name is Deandra.
And obviously, my name is Josh.
And this is Takeover.
All right, first topic of the day. We have a rare occasion tomorrow on a Saturday, if you're watching it on a Friday. We have the number 1 team in the nation facing the number 2 team in the nation, Alabama Crimson Tide.
2 versus 3, actually.
In the college football playoff.
Okay.
College football playoff doesn't know what they're talking about. Anyway, so we have LSU and Alabama. It's going to be a big game. It could decide a lot of stuff that we see in the playoffs and the SEC. So I want to hear, who do you guys think is going to win, and what do you think is going to be the deciding factor in this game?
I know Joe Burrow has been playing good. LSU's offense has looked unstoppable with their RPOs, and they basically have the best resume in college football. But I'm here to tell you right now, they're not beating Alabama in Tuscaloosa. It's not going to happen tomorrow. And it's because I know Alabama hasn't had the toughest schedule, but they've been hearing this LSU talk this whole entire time. They've been hearing, you can't stop Joe Burrow. What are you going to do next? You guys haven't played anybody. And the last thing you want to do to a Nick Saban team is give them a little motivation. Give them a little, we can't do something? Oh, we don't win these big games? And I feel like the Tide's going to come in there with a motive tomorrow. They're going to come in there with a motive, and I think they're going to be able to win the game. And I believe LSU has a good defense, but they kind of got exposed a little bit in the last game they played against, not necessarily the last game, but the game they played against Florida, where the tight end, Kyle Pitts, he had a good game versus them, but that's only like their one weapon. They only had one weapon. I feel like he exploited that defense. Alabama has weapons all over the place. And then I think they're also going to win the special teams battle with Jalen Waddle as well. So I think the game is going to come down to who's going to make the big plays. And I think Bama they have playmakers that are better than LSU playmakers on the offensive side of the ball.
Okay.
So I feel like LSU will win simply because I know you brought up how Alabama hasn't had the best schedule, which is true, and that can have an effect as well. LSU has played ranked teams, Auburn, Texas, Florida, and they've been in situations where they had to come through. So I think this is going to be the best secondary that Alabama is going to be facing against. You have Delpit, Fulton, and Stevens. They together average 10 interceptions. And also, I think they have the most balance when they have receivers, and they also have Burrow who can throw the ball. You have Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Terrace Marshall, Thaddeus Moss. I think they sleep on those receivers. And you also have to think about the red zone scoring as well. When 2 dynamic teams such as these are coming together, if it's going to be a down-the-line type game, you're going to want the best kicker. LSU is number 1 in the nation as far as red zone scoring goes. And like I said, when it comes down the line, you're going to want that kicker. As far as you have Cole Tracy, he's kicking 21 out of 23. I don't think we need to talk about Alabama's kicker.
We don't.
So, yeah,
we're not bad.
Yeah, we're not going to go there. And they also brought in Joe Brady from the Saints. He's bringing in pro schemes coming in and giving the offense that type of leverage, and that's why I think LSU will win.
I'm siding with Deandra here. I think LSU wins simply because I think that their defense is more equipped to deal with the Alabama offense, and I think the LSU offense is going to cause some problems. So I think the Alabama defense this season has not been the Alabama defense that we are used to seeing. I think the loss of Dylan Moses before the season has really hurt them because they don't have that force in the middle. I'm siding with what I'm going to kind of piggyback on what she said. This secondary is built to handle these weapons that you alluded to in Alabama, because you do have Grant Delpit and you have Christian Fulton, who are both first-round talents in this upcoming draft. So while Alabama has plenty of weapons, LSU has the pieces to take those weapons away. They've also got K'Lavon Chaisson coming off the edge, which is going to put some pressure. Now I know Alabama's got Alex Leatherwood, who's good, but LSU does have someone that can generate pressure. I don't really, outside of like Raekwon Davis, I don't really see that with Alabama. And then one thing that people are kind of ignoring, LSU does have a run game. It's not just Joe Burrow, ladies and gentlemen. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is a big game rusher. In the 2 ranked games where he had 136 yards and a touchdown versus Auburn, and he had 134 yards and 2 touchdowns versus Florida. So when the spotlight is the brightest, he steps up and he is willing to put the team on his back. And I think that is going to be the deciding factor, on top of Tua Tagovailoa, however you say his name, is not 100%. All right, this is his ankle. He just had surgery on that ankle. He is not going to be okay. And we've seen when he is not 100%, Alabama struggles.
I understand where you're coming from with that, but I'm glad you brought up the running game because I think everyone's so obsessed with these two teams passing the ball that I think the running backs are actually going to have a good game. Now that you bring that back, looking at how they played against each other last year, Najee Harris had 5 carries, but he had 86 yards on those 5 carries. I know Alabama's run game hasn't been as aggressive as it used to, but I'm saying I think he'll have his best game here, just like he did last year, and I feel like Najee Harris is going to be the reason Alabama wins the game.
I think that's the problem because if Tua is not 100%, then LSU can key in on the run game and focus on stacking that box. Because the reason it could have worked last year.
So you would stack the box versus Alabama's offense with the receivers out there?
Yeah, I would. If Tua can't scramble, and if Tua, I'm going to trust my secondary. I'm going to put my faith in them, and I'm going to take away the run game.
So you'll put Jerry Jeudy on a one-on-one with somebody?
Christian Fulton, sure.
You'll put Devontae Smith one-on-one with somebody?
With the Grant Delpit patrol.
I feel like they're going to struggle with that. I feel like they're not necessarily going to be ready for that.
But
I know these two are RPO-heavy teams too.
If the rush can put some pressure on Tua, it's going to be completely different.
But if Najee Harris has a game like he did last time, I mean, what do you got to expect for it? I mean, it kind of goes both ways. These teams are kind of built the same if you look at it that way.
I have no dog in this fight because my team is bad. I'm a Georgia Tech fan. But regardless of what happens, I'm here to watch this.
This is going to be a great game.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be a great game. Won't be like the last time it was 1 versus 2 because the defenses are nothing like that. It was kind of the opposite. But they're playing in Tuscaloosa, so I'm going to give them the edge.
At the end of the day, it's going to come down to if Tua is healthy and LSU has to play a perfect game. So, switching over to the NBA, like how we were just talking about quarterbacks in football, we know how important they are. That keys to the same as the point guard. We know how important the point guard is to basketball. So who do you guys think is the best point guard in the league?
Damian Lillard. Quite simply because he is the Portland Trail Blazers. If you take Dame off that squad, they're not in the playoffs. They don't make the run they made last year. They are not talked about in the national media because as much as I like C.J. McCollum, C.J. McCollum is a great scorer. He's a perfect number 2. He is not a number 1. He is not the playmaker that he needs to be if he wants to be a number 1. He is not the defender that you really want. I mean, Damian Lillard's not a great defender, but he's gotten better with time. CJ really has kind of stagnated. I mean, Damian Lillard, he's averaging 35 and 7 so far this season, and he's doing that on 39% shooting from 3. But on top, I mean, he does everything. I mean, he's shooting 71% at the rim, and he's shooting like high 40% from the mid-range. So he can score from anywhere, and he's a great playmaker, as that seemed in the 7 assists. So he can do anything on a basketball court on the offensive end that you need him to do, and he just makes everybody around him better.
So you say about doing everything well or doing everything better. When I look at that and I'm dialing on who do I think a point guard that can do that, I think of Russell Westbrook, and that's the only point guard I can think of right now. Because if you look at it, Russell's shots obviously climb. He's never been that real shooter type guy. But Russell, he's gonna give you some assists, he's gonna give you rebounds, he's gonna give you the hustle, he's gonna make your team run in transition. And I mean, the way Russell moves, it's like you can't one-on-one him because, I mean, I think he'll beat you because he's faster than you. He's bigger than most point guards, so he's going to have the strength there. So I think combining with Russell's strength and how he can do everything on the court, literally, I mean, you shut out Russell's shooting or he shut it out himself, he's going to give you 10 rebounds. He's going to give you 12 assists. I mean, he started off the season averaging a triple-double. He's still averaging a triple-double again. It'll be 4 straight seasons if he does it again. Russell Westbrook can literally do everything on the court you ask him to. And when his shot's going, he is unstoppable. It's literally unstoppable. What are you going to do? You're going to double team. You're going to double team. Yes, once he gets his shot going, if the shot gets going. But I mean, we've seen Russell hot. We've seen him drop 30. I mean, they lost the series versus Portland, but we've seen what happens when he gets off to a hot start. Drop 36 versus Dame, won the game. I'm just saying, when Russell gets going, he can get everyone going. He gets the whole entire team going because he's going to get the rebounds, he's going to make the hustle, he's going to do everything possible for his team to win. So I think when you look at the complete body of work of Russell Westbrook, he can do everything at the point guard position.
Well, I decided to go with Steph Curry. Although he is injured, I still feel like he has, the fact that he's injured and now Golden State is counted out is evident. That shows his presence. And his impact on the game, period, just shows what a good point guard he is. He made shooting the 3 a priority to where every team is going out and looking for a shooter now on the perimeter. And when you look at the team as a whole, if he's not there, you can see the difference between them. Draymond and Klay wouldn't be able to get the touches that they get without Steph Curry. And when you look at the accomplishment that Golden State they have 60-plus wins for 3 straight seasons. They broke the regular season record for wins, 5 finals appearances. All of that was centered around Steph Curry. And the way he makes other players better, I just think he's just the #1 point guard. And when I think about a leader, I think about Steph Curry.
Was it centered around Steph Curry, or was it centered around the Splash Bros?
Or Kevin Durant.
I mean, there's that too, but they didn't have Kevin Durant when they broke the record.
Okay, I think when you're averaging 30 points, no one can say that you're being carried.
But when you have the best shooter of all time automatically taking another defender with him, then it makes it a little bit easier.
I mean, that's understood, but also you have to, like, for example, as a Paul Pierce, if KG and Ray Allen come to the game, of course it's gonna change a little bit. That doesn't take your ability away. It may help you, but it still doesn't change your ability to score. People always.
I disagree with you, but I think the point I'm trying to make is I said it when he was first blowing up with the Warriors. He's a great player, but he can't do it by himself. He can't be the #1 without anybody. Like, Paul Pierce took some mediocre Celtics teams and made them great because Paul Pierce single-handedly could, do a lot of things.
You put Steph on Charlotte right now, do they make the playoffs?
Of course not.
I'm asking you. Put Steph on Charlotte right now, do they make the playoffs?
I mean, no, but could you do that? I don't think.
Yeah.
Put Steph on the OKC team when Kevin Durant left, do they make the playoffs?
That's borderline.
Do they make the playoffs?
I don't think so.
The question is, you don't know. But the point guard who has done that and has proven that is Russell Westbrook. So in my point, that's why I feel like he's the greatest as well. I mean, he's the best point guard. I don't say the greatest. He's not there yet.
Westbrook's got some mental stuff going on.
He's a little angry.
Also on the court, I don't see him as much of a leader as Steph Curry. When Steph Curry got injured, and it was just Kevin Durant, and you notice that team wasn't the same. Even though Kevin Durant was on the floor and he's just that guy, they still weren't the same. You didn't have that floor general. You didn't have that person everyone is always alert after you pass half court. So that gets other players looks. I just feel like Steph Curry is that guy, and his intangibles are unteachable. Simple as that.
Intangibles. We love conversations about intangibles.
Switching for our last topic of the day, the NFL season is winding down. Week 10 is upcoming for us right now. So who are your guys' Super Bowl picks for right now?
Coming out of the NFC, I'm picking the Saints. Everyone wanted them to fall, or they thought they were going to fall because Teddy Bridgewater, they underestimated him, ended up going 5-0.
Tell them.
And now Drew Brees is back, and that just brings even more weapons, and I just think they're one of the most complete teams in the NFC, defense and offense.
Keep telling them. Now who coming out of the AFC?
And for the AFC, I'm picking the Pats. They play the Bills, the Jets, and Miami twice out the year. That's an automatic 6 wins. And then they have to get 4 or 5 wins to get to the playoffs. That's nothing for the Pats. There's no other quarterback that can go against Brady or has the experience that Brady has, with the exception of Patrick Mahomes, but he's hurt. And the Chiefs' defense is trash.
Awful.
So
awful.
That's who I got going.
I agree with you on the AFC, because the AFC at this point is almost kind of a joke. It's like a 2 or 3 team league, and the Chiefs have a very glaring weakness on the defensive end, and the Patriots are the most complete team with the most experience. So
the Ravens might fight in there though.
The Ravens are going to put up a fight, but I mean the playoff Patriots are a lot different from the regular season Patriots.
Oh, definitely. They're going to see a whole different defense.
That's completely different.
And they beat them in the regular season, so they're not going to let that slide.
Yes.
You don't beat Bill Belichick twice.
Yeah, Bill Belichick. Vindictive Bill Belichick. I'm not a fan of. You don't beat him twice. So coming out of the NFC, I'm going to disagree. I think that it's the Green Bay Packers, simply because Aaron Rodgers is the most talented quarterback that we have ever seen in football.
Okay.
There are things on the football field that Aaron Rodgers can do that just nobody else does. He's got the best Hail Mary. He single-handedly is the Packers at this point. But at the same time, the Packers actually have a team behind him now.
Defense.
He finally has a running game with Aaron Jones. He finally has an elite-level receiver in Devontae Adams. And he finally has a defense. The additions of Preston Smith and Zadarius Smith have really, really changed this unit. And I think that their defense combined with what their offense can do, and everybody is working together, it's too much. I don't think any team is going to be able to handle it. And also, I think we all just want to see Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs again, because You want to have the big names in the playoffs.
So I understand what you're talking about. I mean, I agree wholeheartedly with you guys in the AFC, but the NFC, I'm definitely going with the New Orleans Saints. I see what you're talking about. I see what you're talking. I mean, you're an Atlanta fan, so I mean, everything you say is just always, it can't be anything. I mean, we're not ever celebrating anything in this city. That's a different subject for you. But as I was saying, you saw when he went against the Chargers, he had Nick Bosa and he had Melvin Ingram going against going at him, and he couldn't really. They got bottled up on the offensive side of the ball. When you look at the Saints, and I think that's probably the team they're probably going to meet in the NFC Championship. You got Cam Jordan on one side, you got DBs locking up all through the secondary on the other side.
Locking up.
No, you got DBs. You know, Eli Apple's he's a little off. He's a little off. You know, we don't really claim him like that. But the rest of those DBs, they're going to be able to. I think they're going to be able to bottle up Aaron Rodgers. And I think the Saints' defense and how they're good on offense and they can win games in multiple ways is going to be the reason they come out and they win. And that win. I mean, hopefully they win the Super Bowl. But they're going to be in the Super Bowl. In my opinion.
I'm still smarting over the Atlanta dig, man. That hurt.
I mean, I'm just saying.
You don't have to rub in the pain.
I'm biased. Y'all lose.
You are biased.
I'm not biased.
You're voting for your own team. Did I pick the Falcons to go to the Super Bowl?
We know why.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're not wrong.
If it's his team, it may be his team, but he has a Super Bowl argument.
Reason. Don't come for me.
He doesn't.
Don't come for me unless I send for you.
As much as I want to.
Okay? To close out, that is the end of Takeover. Again, guys, drop in the comments. Tell us who won. Until y'all tell us who won, I'm going to keep saying I'm winning. Because I keep winning.
Because he's biased.
All right, well, we'll see you guys next time. Like and subscribe. Takeover out.